551.002 and 551.041 of the Open Meetings Act of Texas. Public participation during the portion of the agenda for public comment is limited to that portion only, except that if a citizen's comment relate to a topic or subject covered under an agenda item, the citizen shall wait to speak until the agenda item comes up for discussion. At all other times during the council meeting, the audience shall not enter into discussion or debate on matters being considered by the presiding officer. Ms. Norma, can I go ahead and get a quorum check, please?
Yes, sir. And I just wanted for the record to state that this meeting will be recorded. And let me have a quorum check. Councilman Alfaro.
Here.
Councilman Garcia. Can you unmute yourself, Mr. Garcia?
Here.
Okay, thank you. And Councilman Chavez?
Here.
Thank you. And Mayor Pro Tem Weeks? It will be absent. Thank you, sir. We have a quorum.
Okay, Norma, can you continue with it? Norma, can you continue with it?
Yes, sir. And I just wanted to state for the record, nobody has contacted me in regards to the open forum. Do you know, Chief, if the mayor will be attending?
He's still on, Norma, but can you go ahead and continue with the meeting?
Yes, sir.
Hey, sorry, guys. Just give me a quick minute. I do sincerely apologize for the meeting. I'm wrapping up real quick. Okay, moving on to item or open forum for the public limited to 2 minutes. Ms. Gonzalez, were you able to handle that?
Yes, sir. We didn't have nobody for the request for the open forum.
Okay, let the record reflect. Moving on to item 5, reviewing action on minutes of regular council meeting May 11, 2020. Do I have any comments, any questions, or do I have a motion on the table?
Move to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
Motion made by Mr. Garcia, seconded by Councilman Alfaro, to approve the minutes of regular council meeting May 11, 2020. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Moving on to item 6, review and action on minutes of regular council meeting May 21st, 2020. Any questions or comments from council? Do I have a motion on the table?
So move to approve.
Motion made by Mr. Garcia. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Chavez. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Moving on to item 7, review and action on minutes of regular council meeting September 14, 2020. Any questions or comments from council, or do I have a motion on the table?
Motion to approve. Second.
I got a motion made by Councilman Alfaro, seconded by Councilman Garcia. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Moving on to discussion, consideration, and action on the following new business. Item 1, discussion, consideration, and action on Cano's HR group agreement with the town of Anthony. Do we have Mr. Cano online, Ms. Norma Gonzalez?
Yes, sir, we do. Mr.
All right, Mr. Cano, the floor is all
I'm here.
yours, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Just again, folks, another year goes by and our services. I would like the opportunity for the town of Anthony to continue with our services in human resources. Last I spoke to Cindy, she did tell me that Norma Gonzalez is pretty much up to speed on everything that she was going to be trained for. So we're starting the contract back to square one, which was the $500 a month. Of course, with your approval, if you're still interested. And I'm open to any questions you may have.
Floor is open to council. Does anybody have any questions, any comments? As you guys know, this is basically just a formality. We're looking to continue with our HR services as we have. So we're just averaging about 500 a month, and we already budgeted for the rest of the year at that overall cost. So we were just trying to look at seeing at finalizing the and approving the agreement.
Okay.
If there's no questions, do I have a motion on the table?
I could say something. I think that these guys have done a great job, the past year. So a motion to approve.
Thank you, Louis. I guess from council, would I have a motion on the table on the contract with Gano HR Group? Not all at once.
I'll second.
All right, who made the motion?
Louis.
All right, Mr. Alfaro made the motion, seconded by Councilman Garcia. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Tommy. We look
Thank you,
forward to
Mayor.
continue working with you guys. You're an outstanding HR group consulting firm, so we appreciate all the time and effort you guys dedicate to the town of Anthony.
I appreciate you all. Thank you for another year.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody.
All right, thank you. Moving on to, let's see. Moving on to item 2, discussion, consideration, and action on an ordinance adopting budget for the fiscal year commencing October 1st, 2020 and ending September 30th, 2021 for the town of Anthony. Ms. Norma Gonzalez, as you guys know, this is just the formality. We had already presented you at the last couple of workshops that we had the budget for the town of Anthony. And at that time, there were no other significant changes or anything that took place to the budget. So we did want to move forward with recommending and asking for council to move forward with adopting and approving the ordinance in adopting the town of Anthony 2020-2021 budget. The floor is open to council, and if there is no comments or questions, if I can have a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, I got a motion made by Councilman Alfaro, seconded by Councilman Garcia. That was Garcia, correct?
Yes.
Okay, to approve the ordinance adopting the October 1st, 2020 and September 30th, 2021 budget. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, guys.
I would need to get a roll call for that, Mayor.
Sounds good.
Mayor Pro Tem Week, absent. Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilman Chavez, Councilman Chavez,
Yes.
thank you. Councilman Alfaro,
Yes.
thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Moving on to item 3, Discussion, consideration, and action on an ordinance for 2020 no new revenue tax rate of 0.710781 with a maintenance and operation rate of 0.590932 and a debt service rate of 0.119849. Ms. Norma, can you give the heads up to council on why we put this on the agenda once again?
Yes, Council. As you all recall, last council meeting we had this ordinance, and you guys approved to pass it. The reason that we're bringing it back is that once we submitted with El Paso County, we did make a small error and put the wrong maintenance and operations rate, which, as you could see now, the no new revenue tax will be the same as 0.710781 with the maintenance and operation rate of 0.590932 and a debt service rate of 0.119849. And that's why we're just bringing it up. And the only thing that changed again was the maintenance and operations to 0.590932. And that's the reason why we're bringing this agenda item back.
All right. Do I have a motion on the table or any questions?
So basically, it's not going to go up, right?
No, correct, sir. It still stays as the no new revenue, staying the same as last year.
Okay, motion to approve.
So just a clarification in regards to the not going up, it is going with the recommended what they gave us, right, to give us the same revenue of what we've had last year, but there's not going to be any additional revenue, created by passing it.
Right. Okay.
All right.
A motion to
So I have a
approve.
motion on the table by Mr. Chavez. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Seconded by whom?
Joe?
Is it Mr. Garcia?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Moving on. Sorry, go ahead, Norma.
Mayor Pro Tem Weeks absent. Councilman Garcia.
Yes.
Councilman Chavez. Councilman Chavez. Mr.
He's on the
Chavez.
road.
Councilman Alfaro. Councilman Alfaro, I think you're mute. I cannot mute on this side.
I got you. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Chavez?
Oh boy.
Mr. Chavez, are you there? I believe he lost connection. Let me see if I could get a hold of him again. 1 second.
I know it's a little tough today. I think a lot of last minute things kind of happened with everybody. We got pulled in different directions.
Probably near UTEP. There's always a connection there.
Henry, quick question on the roll call. Mr. Chavez is going to have to be present for that, even though he was leading the motion.
Mayor, I still think we need to follow the formality since we have it on the actual ordinance on it. So that way it is, it is recorded properly.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Mayor, I'm trying to call Mr. Chavez to join again. We also need him to continue the meeting to have quorum.
Henry, would we be able to move on to the next item and come back to the roll call part of it as soon as we can get Eddie back on the line?
Mayor, just like Norma indicated, we need a quorum to continue the meeting.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, no.
Okay, so we're able to get Mr. Chavez back on the meeting. And Mr. Chavez, we were just passing roll call for the ordinance for the tax, the property tax. Are you in favor? Mr. Chavez, you're on mute. Mr. Chavez, you still show on mute, and I can't unmute you on this side.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you, sir.
Okay.
I just needed the roll call for the ordinance for the property tax. Are you in favor?
Yes,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
can proceed, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. Thank you, Eddie. Moving on to item 4, discussion, consideration, and action on CARES Act budget presented by Chief Enriquez. It's all yours, Chief.
All right, so as you all can see in your packet, I included a rough breakdown of what we were looking at to get from the CARES Act. We were allotted $294,360. We received 25%, which was 58,872 of that money. So with that monies, we're asking council to approve our budget so far what we have right now. That's to include paying the Jack payment kiosk. It includes Utility Express, Citation Smart, and web payment for 57,900. With that, also we want to include the hazard pay for first responders. That is allowable on the CARES Act, where specifically it says payroll expenses for employees whose services are substantially dedicated to maintaining the response to COVID-19 public safety. We're asking for 50,000. On the, then we're asking for computers for telework. As you know, like what you're seeing right now, we're having a lot of difficulties with our computer systems and et cetera. So we're asking for 15,000 on that. We're also asking for 32,000 for signages in order for us to be able to display health, public health orders, et cetera, directing the community, letting them know what the new orders are. In addition to it, we're asking for acquisition of personal protective equipment for the town and to enhance the website communication. One of the things that I left out was the in addition to it, we are looking at adding on the the recognition when the person comes into the building. When they do come into the building, that they will be scanned automatically. And that alone is about $5,000 that we're looking at. So in total, it's gonna be 170,900. In addition, that's not including the 5,000 for those thermal checks. So roughly about 175,000 that we're looking to allocate for this specific funding under the CARES Act. This is what we're proposing as the budget. We are still gonna have monies left over, and we're looking at other options that we can be able to provide the citizens for it. Again, everything is so we can limit the exposure of COVID to the employees and the citizens. So we're asking permission from you all to approve this this budget so we can go ahead and start making those expenditures from the CARES Act. Anybody have any questions that I can answer?
Yeah.
On the website?
What was the full total, Chief?
It's gonna be roughly about 176,000 more or less, because the one I sent you was 170,900.
Right.
But of course, it wasn't adding on the additional 5,000. So I mean, it's gonna be 175,900.
Okay, and then on that hazard pay, is that from day one to present, or
Say that again, Eddie.
you said
I think what Eddie's trying to reference is if it's going retroactive and paying for the past.
No, it cannot go retroactive. It can only go when we approve the policy. We can't go retroactive to past.
What's in the website communication, Chief? What
So
does that entail?
it's basically to enhance the website communication as far as getting more two-way communication with the community and other stuff that we need to push out to the community, kind of like tip 411, more of a streamlined
But
communication that we can help these citizens have direct contact. Because I know that right now we're having issues with them contacting 211 to get their appointments. So this way, maybe we can tie in with the city some way, somehow, and we can
so
make it direct link to from our website.
so you're putting PSAs on the website? Is that what that's about?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's a public service announcements, guys. PSAs. I got you, Chief.
Chief, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Chief, did you did you all look at possibly factoring in maybe the court in somehow to see if they had any things that may fall within the umbrella for receiving reimbursement
okay, right?
for the
Right.
court?
So such as what?
Such as, for example, maybe paying for any technology that to allow maybe have an extra terminal out in the lobby or something for people that in the public that can't log on for maybe a video conference hearing or anything of the sort. I mean, I'm just throwing something out there. I don't know if you all had communicated with the court to see if there was some items that may fall within reimbursement. That's all I'm
Right.
saying.
So a part of it would be under like the website communication. So that would enhance the telework along with the computers. So it would encompass the court. Also, the Jack kiosk will also work for the court as well, because individuals can actually make pleas there, and they can serve give all the paperwork to the judge, and it'll be done electronically, and it's basically very, very contactless. and it streamlines everything having to do with the court. And then they pay their citations. They get a link on their phones to say, hey, you can pay your citation, you can pay your water bill, you can pay A, B, and C stuff here. So yes, that technology is also going to be made available to the court. Again, it's so we can prevent any type of exposure, enhance our communications, enhance the technology that we currently have going right now.
Okay, Chief. Thank you, Chief.
Also, Chief, the recognition software, is that for doing like temperature checks, automatic temperature checks? I was looking at.
Correct. So like right now, as you know, by the orders of the county judge, the governor, we have to do temperature checks and screenings on not only the employees but everybody that comes into the building. So these
Correct.
kiosks, if you will, they will scan everybody that goes into the building and immediately let them know whether they passed or they failed. In addition to it, if people try to bypass it, it'll send us an alert saying, hey, there was a visitor in your lobby that did not scan in. So we immediately go out there and then we ascertain why, et cetera. And then, yeah, so it can be in compliance. It also cuts down on time and potential exposure. Like right now, the ladies are the ones that go to the front and they do the screening. So if somebody is, COVID or has the virus, they're risking themselves to be exposed to it because they're taking their screening and all this. So with
That's
this
correct.
machine, it'll alleviate that issue.
Well, right, and it'll free up their time to do something else instead of doing that. Yeah,
Yes.
I like that. That's pretty good, Chief. I like that. That's great.
So I mean, so like I said,
Any other questions?
I don't
Any
have
other
any
questions
questions.
from anybody else?
I don't.
Okay. Chief,
Motion to approve.
all right. I have a motion made by Councilman Chavez. Do I have a second?
I'll second. Oh, you.
Seconded by Councilman Garcia. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, motion carries unanimously. We're 3-0 right now. Moving on basically to executive session. The city will go into a closed executive session pursuant to section 551.071, consultation with attorney of the Texas Government Code to seek the advice, consult, and discuss with its attorney about a pending or contemplated litigation. The open meeting will be reconvened following the closed executive session, at which time, if any, will be considered. So we are going into executive session at 7:23 p.m. Ms. Norma?
Yes, sir. Effective right now, I'm going to stop the recording. We'll resume again once we finish the executive session. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me know when you stopped recording.